Okay. Okay, since there are no other questions right now, we'll put Sheetal and Akshay Bhai on spot.
Hardik is there, I think.
Yes, Hardik is also. I think we'll listen and judge what Akshay says.
Okay.
No, you can participate. Okay, so, we were talking about the other day some of the buzzwords, or some of the, I shouldn't say buzzwords, but some of the words that we pick up from Dada Bhagwan, some of the phrases we pick up from Dada Bhagwan. We learn a lot of things every day satsang. So we want to talk about, very common words. Shaileshanandji is adjust everywhere. I mean, we take it for granted. Yeah, I have to adjust everywhere. What does it mean to you? Okay, what does really adjust? Let them talk, then you can talk to
Sure.
What is really, I mean, yeah, I have to adjust everywhere, but do we adjust everywhere? Do we focus on that? What happens? But because, we heard the word that I said adjust everywhere. I want to adjust everywhere. But we don't take that to heart. And I think Akram Vignan or science is from mind to heart. That path has to travel, otherwise the words become words. Like every religion, everybody has words, but we are unique in the sense that we do experiment from mind to heart. Okay, so Hardik, Akshay, Bhai, Sheetal, who wants to take a snap at it? We'll discuss with Shaileshanandji more, okay? But first, you could say what you think, and then we'll dwell into that.
Akshay.
Okay, Sheetal, we'll start with you since nobody's voluntarily.
Okay, adjust everywhere. I can see where I trip and not able to adjust is when I don't accept the situation as it is. That becomes the first block in adjusting, and I try to resist. I resist it, saying, "Why is it like that? It shouldn't be like that," instead of accepting it. And second, obstacle in adjusting for me is that the willingness to adjust, the decision to adjust, the decision making that you were talking to the kids about, that whatever it is, I can change, I adjust. A lot of times right and wrong gets in the way, and my own way of doing things, and this is how it should be, gets in the way of being able to adjust to a situation.
Yeah, well, do we adjust consciously or subconsciously? Or just that's Bhagwan told adjust, so I adjust?
I think it has to be your decision that it
has to be
conscious.
What it is. We have to talk about what it is, not has to be. We don't talk about has to be, what it is. In your case, because I tell you, once we started, what was the other word that Deepak Anandji and we worked on? I forget, but then I started thinking about these buzzwords, and that's why I'm asking this question. Because I was also not doing consciously or subconsciously, but we just mechanically adjust. But then since then, I focus on that. That's when the purpose of this conversation.
Yes. So you're asking me, what does it mean to adjust, right?
To you, how are you doing it? Dadaji told you, you've been conscious about it, or you just took it for granted that we have to adjust, and that's it?
Yeah, I don't think I have given it a deeper thought or tried to incorporate that in daily life. It's just a word. I understand it at theoretical level, adjust everywhere, and how it could be beneficial.
Yeah, see, that's why this is that's why we have the satsang. Okay, Akshay bhai, your thoughts on those?
So adjust everywhere. I have some experience on it in last few days, which I
No,
can
no.
share.
First talk
Yeah.
about your generality, and
General.
then you can, because experience we have tons of them, but
Okay.
generality, are we conscious about, not conscious about what we now can do now, something like that.
Yes, sure. So in general, adjust everywhere to my understanding is uh, by adjusting uh, in all the circumstances. Uh, Basically, when we are working on anything or doing anything, we have our own design, we have our own plans, and we are working on it. Without any plan, no one would work, no one can take any step. You have to have your goal, or you have to have your plan to start working on it. But what I have understood is when we work on it, we are also in relationship with or in a community where there are other peoples involved too, and they will come with their viewpoint, or they will come with a different perspective, or they will come with their own plan. And if we are able to adjust in that situation, then our design and their design don't end up clashing.
If we are talking
And
about able to, you have to give him theory,
okay,
how do we,
so
how
that's
does it
why.
really mean to you? And like I told you, I was mechanically doing, but then now you are consciously doing, at least coming up with that. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we'll go to Hardik Bhai. Hardik Bhai, you want to share something? That's okay if you don't want to share, no problem. Okay, so
So an example, Radni uncle, I was trying to share this by an experience, but you asked me for a detailed explanation on adjust everywhere. So here I had to step back and stop my experience. So that was the adjustment I did. So that's an example of live example. So that's what I've been experiencing. That if I let go my own design, if I let go my own style, and try to understand the other person, like put a counter pulley. I think that is what, but I still have to understand adjust everywhere more in detail.
okay, Shaileshanandji, Anandji, now we can discuss. You heard something, then how, what we should do.
See, adjust everywhere. First of all, it applies to file one, means it's at a relative dealing levels. Mahatmas, as a Mahatmas, we have been put in a much higher state, but that I'll come to little later. So for Shailesh, for example, adjust everywhere, as Akshay was telling, it has to be it is a sort of way of life. It's becoming a way of life, of course, with conscious or Jagrat avastha. So it started as those who have remained in hostels with so many other students. It's a very good lesson for them that it starts from there. That no sooner we entered the hostel, so many different personalities were there, and adjust everywhere is not a burden. It's not a compulsion. Once I understood the science of it, I realized that if I become harmonious with the thing, my energy and my inner self will work best, and it will be not only peaceful, but it will be at the optimum and proper energy levels and everything. If I have to adjust, means there is some small, subtle resent, then not only I lose my peace, happiness, or harmony, there is some lack of that, but my energy doesn't work at optimum. My energy doesn't give me the best of the performance. So adjust everywhere. If we go little higher up, as Akshay rightly told, who doesn't allow me to adjust is my own designs or ego. So most important aspect is the discharge ego. No, I say this, I believe this and that. Whereas if I transcend that, the adjustment is very easy, because Dada, if you we experience Dadaji a lot, that he never had any resent, any conflict, any clash with any viewpoint. He said that everyone is correct by his or her own viewpoint, though he has a full vision. But then with love, with oneness, he used to deal with everything. So adjustment is from within. It has to be from within. That is the word Dadaji used. Adjustment is not a mechanical thing. It's not from outside. It has to be within. And how he described? He described it's like a sugar in a milk. Sugar doesn't ask to the milk that it is free, milk free of fat, or milk 2 fat or 3 fat or whatever fat. Wherever it goes, it makes the milk sweet or sweeter or whatever word you want to use it. So it works at these levels. And of course, the other person will feel your love, it will feel oneness, it will feel that's at a relative level or dealings. If we go to our science level, then Vitrags have only two things. I am means pure self, and rest all are circumstances, be it a person or be it a situations. And for all these circumstances or situations, if I have to dispose them with amicably with equanimity. So if I'm equanimous, there is no question of disadjustment. If I'm not equanimous wherever, it actually gives me the scope to see where I'm not equanimous or where I'm not really disposing my files amicably with equanimity, be it a person, be it a situation, be it anything. So actually, adjustment is a result for Mahatmas. Yes, initially, we have to use this sentence that adjust everywhere because we have so much of Prakriti forces. But once we understand and we go by the science, living by science, actually adjustment is a lower step. We are much higher than the adjustment level, because there's nothing, all the circumstances or situations or people, we are equanimous, amicably with equanimity. And if I'm pure self, there is no hurdle about it. So this is my personal experience or my journey telling me. And as we said that most of the times Mahatmas, because I'm Dada's Mahatma, I have to adjust. But inside, there is something left out. So that inside reconciliation is not there. It is really not the adjustment. Dadaji gave a wonderful sentence. Adjustment is one where the mind has no complaint, no note of it, no objection, no resilience, no complaint about it. So mind or heart goes harmoniously with that. That's what is adjustment. And how Dadaji lived? Dadaji said that if A.M. Patel is taking adjustment, the other fellow will never come to know that he has taken the adjustment. And here we show with a board that, okay, I'm adjusting, I'm living, I'm adjusting, I've adjusted so many times. It's not said as adjustment because there is inner sort of complaint, inner sort of note. Adjustment is one where the mind or inner self will have no complaint, or it will go one with that. And Akshay Bhai is undergoing that thing right now, right? He had to rush to Hardik, he had to do this, that.
Yeah.
Okay, circumstances, and I am in circumstances.
So, one question, Shaileshanandji.
Sure.
So, mind has no complaints.
Yes.
As you saw in just few minutes ago, I had a complaint for
Yes.
Rajni Dada, right? So it just popped. It just popped.
Yeah, that's okay.
And the other thing popped also, that Akshay, from a respect perspective, Akshay stopped. But this thing also popped, wherein he was not able to see. First thing, I think Shuddhatma's seat was not there. I think that was the foundation. But along with that, maybe when I saw the mistake, that was also a red flag for me, that if you see anyone's mistake. But how do we, one thing you said, adjustment is where mind has no complaints, right? How do we attain that state?
That's where our inner understanding at different levels, what Dadaji has given us, including the ultimate science or Vitrag Vignan, including 5 Agnas, that's working. Mind may show, but at the same time, there is a light, Prajna light, which just resolves it. So mind, we have not brought such a mind that it will not show pop-up. It will show pop-up, but the Prajna and understanding will immediately show the other light, and the mind gets convinced. Mind says, give me the reconciliating vision, which only in light of Prajna the Gnan can give. Gnan includes everything. Tekagnan, it will adjust everything, is a Tekagnan. Or 5 Agnyas or Vyavasthit or Shuddhatma and Sayyog and whatever you have. Now a step ahead. I agree, and you did a nice thing. Now one step more. It happens with us also all the times. Satsang, no satsang, this way, that way, optimum, not optimum, whatever it is. What is important? Happenings are important, or my inner state is important. How I pass through that. So that's where Vitrag is standing. That's where Dada Bhagwan is standing. What happens is, it's okay. It's a secondary thing. It's a relative. It's a vyavasthit. It's not important. But how Dada lives means how I lived inside. That is where the Dada Bhagwan vibe means. Live Dada Bhagwan is a Chetan. It's not happenings. It's a Chetan science. It's an inner state of being. It's a knowing, seeing light. It's a light of equanimity. So that's where Dadaji is standing, I think. I mean, even Dada Bhagwan passed through all these phases because the surrounding people would not understand his level and his height and what he, sometimes, so many times his intentions or sangnya also. So surrounding people tried to, hey, Dada, au karo, force their designs, and Dadaji happily walked through it. But the most important thing, he never lost even an iota of his bliss into that. Yes.
See, one of the things, maybe my problem also is, we always talk about I just did here, but we never talk about I didn't adjust. Like you just now said the example that you, then later on you figure it out. But that's why, that's where I was coming from. That we always, you can have a lot of examples. I adjusted, but how many times did this? That's what I was coming to. Anyway, Rani Ben, you have some things there?
Sure. I was just going to share a little bit of also how I use this concept to look at adjusting your inner understanding when you're, I think, what I do for work, one day I'm in the United States, the next day I'm in a war zone, and literally I just have to be in that. If I let my mind think about where I'm going, like I'm about to go to the Congo, if I let my mind fill with the fear and all that, I'll never be able to set foot. I won't be able to move. But it is like Shaileshanandji said, to me at least, it feels like a byproduct of when your understanding is adjusted, you course correct. So you actually just see it as this is all just circumstances, whether I'm in Sierra Leone, whether I'm in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. It's what is going on inside here that is going to keep me safe. That's it's not even like Rani doesn't have fear. She has lots of concerns, fear. And for my job, I work in government. So I work in a landmine of ego. I walk through minefields of egos every day because any word that I say can be. So I have found that to be successful, when I make mistakes at work, it's because I have not applied correct understanding, right? If I surrender to Dada and say that whoever they are, whatever circumstances, beliefs, they can be criminals. I've had to meet with people who are criminals, you know, but the thing is having that opinion and all that, that is adjusting, is letting go of that and seeing it as circumstance and real self, the separateness. That's the only way to do it. So it's a byproduct. If you apply that, you will automatically adjust. Because let me tell you, I don't have any special skill or anything. I'm just, you know, really, I land in these places and I don't have anything except this understanding. It gets me through all of these difficult circumstances of seeing a lot of human suffering, and having to just see it, you know, and apply the understanding. That's just that relative karma being discharged, even though it's very difficult to see. So that is experience. Uncle, please.
No, that's excellent, Rani. Happy, nice to see you after a
Yeah,
long time.
Jay.
Siddharth, pranam
Here.
to Siddhartha Bhagwan, Dada Bhagwan within. Now, that's a nice thing. It's a living, she's living. Now, two more things comes to my mind. One is Dada's example of garden of human beings. In previous times, there were farms, means similar prakritis were around you, whether at work, whether at home or work or somewhere, everybody was almost similar. If it is a wheat, for miles together, it is wheat. If it is blueberry, for miles together. Means if everybody is introvert and speaking less, and then everybody would be like this. But in present times, there are gardens at home or at workplace or everywhere. So one is talkative and the other says, you are bluffing and you are just keep mum. And that fellow, that the other fellow says that speak something that the house will appear live. So in present time, but the garden has a very unique lesson to be learned, Dadaji said, and it has gone to my heart like anything, that you never go to rose and ask for a orchid or mango and never complain about the thorn also. So you have to know the prakriti, means know the prakriti of each one you are coming across, either at home or at workplace or society or wherever it is. And every human being will have some fruit or a flower. None is useless. Even a bubble tree has a lot of positivities, even though it has a lot of thorns. But there are many virtues. So without virtues, one cannot come to the human form. And to go ahead and say, Dadaji even said that even we can't complain about a bubble tree because it also has its own, one, it is a natural creation, kudrati rachna hai, or dusra, it has its own positivities. So wisdom is one who can look at the rose and enjoy the rose and never complain about the thorn. So Dadaji said, find out what one has the positive abilities or virtues or skills and make good use of it and never complain about anything. No sooner I complain or a complaint comes to my mind, and if I hear or if I'm stuck there, or if I'm stopped there, it is my shortcoming that I'm not able to see the flower or a fruit into that person. So this one example is a so enormous in-depth message for present time that adjustment becomes easy, because for adjustment, our mind and intellect says, give me the vision, give me the understanding, give me the reconciliating light that I can go through. So this has helped like anything. A very small but very powerful example of Dada Bhagwan. And then next, in a Vijnana Akshay, Dadaji said that all these are natural creations. You can't say why the neem is like that and why is bubble like that and why. These are natural creations. Nobody has created it. It's a vyavasthit, Shakti. So then it goes to the pure science, means Vitrag science part, as I say, Shuddhatma and circumstances, science and other things. But this is how I think it works. So inside me, there should be no red flags. All green flags, whatever it
Okay.
is.
Anything else? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much. So we'll take another one some other day. Okay?
Then Rajini Dada, then I think it comes to the subtle values. I'm believing in some values. The other people are believing in different values or lifestyles, maybe
Yes.
different levels. But then again, Dadaji said that there are 14 lakhs of layers of human beings. And if you make a one layer, means nearby same beliefs or the understandings or developments. Similarly, there are 14 lakhs of layers. So I have to realize that okay, there are going to be n number of layers of the people.
Yes,
So
yes,
one
wonderful. But the thing of what happens, Shaileshanandji, is we always have pre-notion about the other person, okay,
Yeah,
and then we just try to act accordingly now without. That's why I was coming to that without consciousness. Come conscious, say, hey, like Rani, so that I have to adjust something, but you know, so that is the
it is at the mechanical level where the inside
yeah,
resistance and non-acceptance is still there.
yes,
Without Jagrat Purusharth, inside will not get aligned or adjusted. Adjustment is a result.
yes, yes.
Definitely.
Akshay Bhai was saying something.
Yes, one question on this, Shaileshanandji. Yeah, you said know the prakriti of everyone you come in contact with.
Yes.
Now, so one practice I did was whenever I see something positive in other person, I try to keep a note and remind myself of the positivity of the other person.
Very good.
For example, I see someone not doing something which I am good at, right, and then that negativity starts popping.
Yep.
But then whenever I see positive of other person, I tell myself, look at this.
Yes.
He or she is so much better than you, and you are thinking that you are better than him or her. But now, how can uh, on the other side, when this all negativity starts, how can I still stay connected with my positive things that uh, I also tried to write down the positives of the other person. But how can I, whenever the other thing pops up?
So as I said, that the rose do have a thorn, but it has flower also. So you are knowing that it is a thorn, but you are keeping away and you are enjoying the rose. So Dadaji says, find out what one knows or what one is good at and never complain of what one doesn't know or shortcomings, or never stay at that. There are going to be n number of shortcomings in every human being. Otherwise, you and me will not have been here. We would have been to Siddhakshetra. So we are all failed people. We are with the shortcomings. But something good may be there. That's one part. Second part, as I said, that I have to flow, and the things which are coming to me, people or the situations, they're my projections. So where is the question of finding or telling he or she or situation is this or that? No, it's my own. It's my own world, my own projection, my own accounts, whatever word you use it, my own circumstances. Flow with it. Dadaji
Okay.
said everything. That why you didn't get the best person with you, why you got this type of person, because it's something is there. Nature wants to teach you something. Nature wants to make you a shaligram. Right now we have corners of stones which are hurtful to others, and nature
Yeah.
wants you to make a shaligram, and to make you shaligram, nature sends you certain types of things which tells you to work within to go through that. So there are
Understood.
so
Yes,
many
so
dimensions to it actually. These are all
Right.
facts. These are all the facts of the Vitrag Vignan. And why do I get certain type of people? Because there's some rectification required within me. Second part, same people, why they were very okay with Dada Bhagwan. Same personalities. which to us appearing like crooked or whatever, why they were too good with Dada Bhagwan? Because he inside has too good, means he inside has not of that atoms or molecules. So it's a very actually in-depth thing. It can go to the ultimate.
Okay, let us hear from Lalita Ben. Lalita Ben?
Yes, please. Lalita ji, Jai Satchidanand, Shuddhatma Bhave Pranam.
Jai Satchidanand. Happy New
Pranam.
Year to you. Jai
Yes,
Satchidanand.
same. Pranam to Dada Bhagwan within.
Yes. Shaileshanandji, the choice of words Dada has used, adjust everywhere.
Yes.
It implies maladjustment within me.
Yes.
Without telling me that I'm maladjusted, he's telling me to adjust. So right there, the fault is within me, and I just wanted to, it just occurred to me that the maladjustment really is within me. That's why in a very sweet way, Dada said, adjust everywhere, just go along with the flow. But it's all my preconceptions, my opinions, my things that are a hurdle to adjustment, So I just wanted to, his choice of words. I just wanted to focus on that.
His choice of words, because he never chosen any words.
Right.
It just sprang out naturally from his absolute Gnan. He has not thought, or it has not come at the level of thinking. It has not come through intellect. It has just come through the absolute knowledge. And they are natural. Natural. It came naturally. So as you said, he saw in his divine knowledge light that today it is not the problem of scarcity of the things. When we were younger, there was scarcity of the things. Sometimes there would not be food in the house. Sometimes I had to wear the only 2 uniforms and Saturday wash it and sew it. And Monday. But today, what is the problem, he says? Then he saw that today it is the difficulty of adjustment with each other, with people or with situations, that the main hurdle is. And it works at many, many levels. So including attachment and aversion, including the where. So he says that today the world has been on the foundation of revenge or rivalry.
Oh.
And this will take you out of that. So not only you will be happy in this world, but you will sail to the liberation. That's what he says with one sentence. Not only you will be happy in the relative world, but you will sail to liberation. And this is inner self can be aligned only when I use my Gnan at all levels. Otherwise, it doesn't. You are absolutely right. That's why I said beliefs means my perceived values, my beliefs, my preconceptions. Suppose for people, I can, something positive and adjust. And what about my believed values, my believed perceptions, which I'm harboring through births together? Not necessarily I want to live it, but I have to understand that where does it stand, where the other people stand. It's the flow of nature. And ultimately the Vitrags, they have no insistence for any value. Kaviraj said, no, jare satya noya agna chuti jai che, ત્યારે વિતરાગ સંપૂર્ણ ઓળખાય છે. If we understand this sentence.
Correct. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
If we understand this sentence, જ્યારે સત્યનો આગ્રહ છૂટી જાય છે, when the insistence or adamancy or the strong belief for even the perceived values, the truth is a perceived good value, but it's a relative truth. Dadaji said, Vitrags has nothing here and there, nothing to impose. They just are Vitrag and just flows. Because they are only in Sat and not in Satya. Satya is a relative truth and untruth. The Sat is eternal.
Correct.
So that's where ultimately this adjust everywhere lead us to. Because unless I understand this part, some or other way, at the subtle level, I'm going to disadjust. If I'm a believer of truth, I will be disadjusting with the person who is not on the side of truth or says lie or says here and there, whatever you believe it to be. Something like that. If I'm a staunch believer of non-violence, I will have some disadjustment with the person who is not believing or behaving as per the non-violence. So this is the subtle aspect which is coming to me, Rajni Dadaji, at this moment.
Yeah. No, it's very good. This is, this was very good discussion of everybody. Excellent. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Lita Ben.
Jai Sachidanand. Jai
Jai
Sachidanand.
Sachidanand.
So now one more point, Lalitaji, that does it mean that I should not tell truth as truth? No, it's not like that. They will say whatever it is as it is, but they are not caught into that. They don't have the sides for this or that, but they know the truth. They know they will tell, all right, as it is, they will know the pros and cons of both, but they are not caught into that. They have no sides for that. Even though they will say this is truth, this is good, this is not good, this will fetch these fruits or this will fetch this type of fruits, but they are not for any side, not caught into any side.
Yes, in the final analysis, to me at least, all the arguments, all the ego clashes, it all amounts to a hill of beans. It doesn't mean anything. When the person is gone, then you have all these regrets. But at that time, you just want to show a one-upmanship,
Yeah.
So you're so correct.
The discharge ego says, why should I live? Every time only I have to live. Every time nobody understands. Not he has to understand. The Mahatmas say, why every time I have to adjust? He or she is also Mahatma. Why can't they adjust? And then extra adjustment.
Yes, correct.
Adjustment never tells that I am adjusting. Adjustment never asks that the other person has to adjust. Adjustment is, that is why Dadaji said adjustment has to be from within. And there has to be no note that I'm adjusting. If there is a note, the spring will rebound someday. Throw away everything.
Correct. Doership.
Yeah. But again, one more step, that this is all happening at the Prakriti level. And I am free from it. I am just the knower and seer. I am just the absolute knowing and seeing. I am Shuddhatma. So no sooner I come to the seat of Shuddhatma, everything becomes very easy and simple. If I am not the seat of Shuddhatma, no matter how hard struggle I put into, I will not get to the ultimate.
Yes, adjustment is only for file number 1, not for us. Yes.
We are free of it.
Thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Kamlesh Bhai, please unmute. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Jai Sachidanand. Shaileshanandji. This Shaileshanandji, what you told last thing,